Welcome to RoboCo, a game that's all about making robots in order to do tasks. Played this game a little bit before, but the devs have been in touch with me and they've gone, hey, we've done a little bit more tweaking and whatnot. Would you like to have another go? And they've given me a couple of alpha codes for a couple of levels. And as you can see straight away, we've got some new things. Down on the left-hand side, you see there's like a best and a little timer, and also a best and a dollar sign. We now have cost and time, which is something that wasn't in the previous bit that I played of it. So in this build, we've now got an idea of how much things are going to cost us and everything else. The idea with this little mission today is we've got to get a sandwich to table number 6. That is the main objective. With RoboCo, they are pretty awesome though. There is quite a few hidden objectives. Now they are hidden in terms of we don't know what they are, but we are able to find out. And this is what the hidden objectives look like. So they're on these little tablets that tells you here, this is like bring a friend to sit across from one of our lonely humans. So if we take the wide shot, we can see we've got a lonely human over here, bless her, sat on herself, and we've got the man over here with a beard, his sat on himself. And what it's basically saying is, well, get one of them in front of the other so they're sat together. But today we will just look at doing the main objective. See that on the right side where it says main, it says deliver the sandwich to the guest on table 6. And there's these two little bonus things, do it without touching the table and deliver the sandwich upright. So easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to build something real basic. We're going to go into the build menu, and I like this build menu. It's really simple. So all of these are our current blocks. Obviously we've got a drop down here, it's basic, or we can go through all of this, or we can just click all and everything is here. But for now we'll just stick with basic, or if we go a little bit further across onto this, got constructs, and these are stuff that are pre-built. For example, wheels. So this has already got everything that we need. It's already got the motor in place, and it's already kind of control wired up already. So that's good. So what we'll do, like I say, we'll start off with a heavy base, and in order to change the size of your blocks, you just go down into your little resize tool, and you can change by grabbing the little blue dot and pulling it where you want to pull it. Let's make it an odd shape. So we've got a middle, and we'll just pull it back here. And I'm going to make this a little bit nice and chunky. I want my weight to be low. Then I'm going to go in and grab my wheels, and I want my right wheel, grab our left wheel also. And now for the front. See, this is where the fun bits are. For the front, I'm going to get a rod. So I've got my rod in place. Now, down here we've got a joints tool, and this tells us what sort of joint is there. If we look at this rod right here, you'll see it's a fixed joint. That means it's basically just a rod in a block. However, if we click that, we can then skip through it, so we can now turn it into a rotating joint. So this is like a bearing now. So it's a free rotation, or it's a slide, which means it will move left to right, or if we do one more, it'll do everything. It will slide, it will rotate, it will do the lot. So we want this to rotate like a bearing so that I can put a wheel on it, and it's basically going to be a free wheel. So this is going to be a rear wheel drive robot. It's going to have a free moving front wheels. Gosh. Now if we want to change the controls for everything, we go up to this, like, I don't know, Wi-Fi symbol. And you'll see here, this is our control setup, and then you'll click on W, for example, is go forwards. And it's already pre-set up for us because these wheels were pre-built. So what we got here is it's telling these two motors here. So we see them now. And they are going to spin forwards as been directed. Reverse, you can see they're both spin backwards. Left, you see you've got the one on the right going forwards and the one on the left going backwards, so that we turn to the left and to the right. So that's set up pretty simple. Now what I want to do is I'm going to build a sort of a platform straight up the middle. This is going to be where we're going to put our table. So we'll put this up here somewhere and make it nice and high, and then we'll come off of this just here sort of thing. So we've got a little bit of a table. We want this table to overhang the front of the truck, so that the idea is I drive up to the table, actual table where our guy's sitting, and this bit overhangs the table itself, so we don't have to touch the table. So hopefully we're high enough. How we can check that, we'll go press the space bar, and that gives us our controls, and we'll just drive forwards and get to the table. And unfortunately, you can see that straight away, we are exactly the right height for the table. So press space, go back into the build menu, grab this, lift this up a couple more, we'll grab this piece, and then you can move this independently. So if we go to the move option and we'll go up here, one more, there we go. So that should get us over the table now. And I know what you're thinking, but okay, so a sandwich is going to get on that. How are we going to get that onto the table? Well, if we go into powered, we'll get a piston. Now, there's two pistons to choose from. You've got a small piston, or you've got a telescopic piston. And I will show you the difference of these real easy. So that's the small piston, and that's the telescopic piston. Both look exactly the same. We're going to go into controls, we're going to add new, and what we're going to do is go for both the pistons, and we're going to ask them to move out on E and then move in on Q. Okay, so as you'll see here, the piston on the right is the small piston, the piston on the left is the telescopic piston, and the difference is this. So the small piston will only extend the length that the piston is, whereas the telescopic piston, wow, look at it, it goes like 5 times its length. It does cost quite a bit more actually, looking at the actual cost of it, 45 versus 180, and it does weigh a slight little bit more, but in my opinion, you're going to get exactly the sort of thing that you need. So I'm going to pull this in here, run this out here, run this out here, and that should be pretty basic. Actually, I've got to set up that piston. I don't think we do have it in. No, we don't. So we'll move that out and move it in, and then we'll just go. So we've just got to drive forwards and get under here. There's a laser. We've got to get under the laser. I missed the laser. We missed it. So we know we've just got to wait, and eventually there'll be another one that will drop down. There we go. Get under it nicely. Drop. Now, as you can see, my table is quite small for the size of that sandwich. And this thing's just going to keep spitting out sandwiches. It should be okay. We've just got to avoid all the people. Oh, I'm going to drop it. No! All right, build menu. I need to extend this table. I'm not happy with it. It's quite clearly too small for us. That'll be fine. Okay, right. So let's try again. Get under here. Catch it. Boom. Yeah, okay. Not exactly how I wanted it to land. It's going to be interesting. It's going to bobble free. It's going to bobble free. No problem. We'll get to the table anyway. And then you see we're high enough to go over the table. And then you just push and the sandwich is delivered. So, yeah, we failed a couple of the missions because it's not upright, but that's not a problem. We'll get out here and it tells us our budget we spent, and it tells us our time that it took to do it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But I'm not going to stop there because I want to deliver this thing properly. I want this thing to work and I want it to land how it was. Now, we were quite a bit higher, weren't we? Were we not like that much higher or something? So we'll see where we get to. Let's move these down. We need a little bit more room on here. So I want to try something. What I need is to work out the direction that this needs to be. So something here, I think, and it'll make sense when you see it. So we're here, and then I need a DC motor, and it's the wrong way around. Easy enough. Go in here, flip it over. Boom. Now we need a rod. Actually, we need to connect. Yep, happy with those connections. Get a rod, put the rod between these two, and then we'll get another rod. We'll put this rod in here, and we'll pull it out here and then out this way a lot. And this might make no sense at all, but I promise you it'll be fine. We'll get a lightweight block. We'll put a lightweight block on here, and then we've got to go into joints and disconnected that joint. So, oh dear me. In here, stretch this wide, go back into our joints, and we need to now delete that joint so that everything should move. Crikey. Now E, we want DC motor 1 to spin forwards and then spin reverse. I think that's how we do it. Yeah, there we go. So you can see, woo, we can make a little pusher. So now what we can do is drive under the dispenser, get our sandwich, drive off to our table. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. Steady, steady, steady. It's a little bit delicate just being rear wheel drive. Get above the table. Hopefully we've got that right. Oh, that's going to be close, you know. So we can't get too close because we're going to hit this table, which is going to fail us. Creepy, 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 creepy. There we go. And then push the sandwich out. All 3 completed. Nice and easy. Boom. So it's a little bit more expensive than the last one, but it also worked a lot better. But this is RoboCo. There's a few little things here that we can do, and it's exciting. There's a lot of little mini missions, like I say, that are within each mission map itself. These guys are building this game pretty well. You should check it out. Go and have a look. Tell me what you think. It looks great. I know it's great. It's great for a little tinkering mind. There's a million and one different ways to do something. RoboCo is one of those excellent things that will keep that creativity going, actually. It's really good. Quite enjoy it.